All right, finished my projects for the day, and like I said, I'm really excited about getting into Bitcoin mining, so I thought I would go ahead and record this video to discuss that. I'm going to try to make it really quick. I had like a 15 or 20 minute video earlier about the People's Network and helium mining and some other stuff. So but this is the one I was really excited about. So I am actually selling off my Ethereum mining equipment, which has been good. It's been everything that I'd promised, my earlier videos. It's been everything I'd hoped for. It's produced well. It's the mining output has been pretty standard, around $13 to $15 a day. And it's grown my crypto holdings and given me opportunities to trade and lose some money for free and, learn about trading that way. So, the Ethereum experience has been good. And it's still not a bad entry point for somebody to get into mining. The worst thing about it is getting a hold of the GPUs. The video cards are just really, really difficult to get. The most I was ever able to get was like 3 or 4 of them. And there was a time there where every moment of every day, some of them I had to get at like 3 a.m. in the morning. I mean, I was looking for them. I was playing the game. I kind of lost my spunk for it. It became too much work. And, news is that Ethereum will be moving away from mining. We don't have a date on that, and until then, I mean, the stuff would pay for itself again, maybe twice before they do that. So it's not the end of the world, but I'm just ready to get serious. I'm ready to take mining seriously. And the only way to do that is with Bitcoin. Yeah, the helium and this environmental mining equipment that I'm looking into is really cool. And that is worthwhile. But also, I think the biggest benefit of it are the projects themselves, the social aspects, the cool things about them. But Bitcoin is solid. Before I get into mining it and the details about the money making, which it's there and you're going to love it, I just want to say that I've chosen to invest $10,000 to $13,000 in a miner. That's your minimum investment. So it's something I've taken seriously. I've chosen to put this money in, and it's not a decision I take lightly. Don't get me wrong, it might be, but I have a wife and kids. And Kendra doesn't understand this stuff. I don't talk to her a lot about it, and I can explain it to her to a degree, but the truth is she doesn't want to know about it. She doesn't care about the technical. She doesn't get excited about the futurist. I mean, it's my thing. And at the end of the day, she trusts me to represent her views when it comes to risk management. So I do that. And so I weighed this pretty heavily, and it's a good deal, man. I would compare it to real estate. I come from a real estate background, and for me, whenever I get $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in my hand, the first thing I think about is buying a rental property, generating some residual, don't have to work so hard for it, income. It's genius. Everybody should be doing this. I've always believed everybody should be doing this. But with a little maturity, I figured out not everybody can do this. A lot of people get their heartstrings pulled a little too easily, and they'll take a BS tenant story as fact and think, well, they really are gonna be homeless, and they're gonna starve to death on the street. It's all gonna be my fault, and I can't tell them they can't have their puppy. I love puppies. I can't tell them they can't have their, all that. It's not for everybody. Not everybody can landlord, but I think everybody could Bitcoin, and so let's compare them. I have a lot of realtor friends and investors on my friends list, and that's probably who's watching this video. So when you get $10,000, how much house does it buy? $10,000 in a house. So you take that $10,000 and you take it to a bank, and they give you $50,000. That's a 20% down payment on a $50,000 house. Now this is all very standard. This is stuff I've done last year, this year. This is stuff I do the numbers are legitimate. So You buy a $50,000 house, you're going to put $5,000 into it. So this is on top of your $10,000. You're going to put some time into it, and then it's going to rent for $750 a month. It's a freaking great investment to have a $60,000 investment that produces $750 a month. It's always been great. The fact that it's in real estate and it appreciates and you can resell it later and the tax benefits and all that, fantastic. We love real estate. But let's look at it realistically. Going to look for a $50,000 house right now is going to take you a month to 2 months, if it happens. Say you find it, say you got $10,000, that's not enough to buy the house, so you have to have a loan process. You're going to have a 45 days till closing. On top of that 45 days, after you've closed on it, you're going to have to get all the troops lined up, and you're going to have to renovate the house in the way it needs to be renovated to get the $750 a month. Couple months probably at minimum. You know, we're talking about a process that might lead to you investing $15,000 and not seeing your first penny of return for 6 months. And I think 4 months is very, very realistic. Very realistic. So let's compare that to a Bitcoin miner. They're in stock. You can get them. It's not the kind of thing that's super rare. I can call up Compass, which is a provider for Bitcoin miners and hosting, and I can tell them I want a miner online, and they'll have it online in 2 weeks after the payment and paperwork's done, or less, sometimes less. So 4 months, $750, 2 weeks, $50 a day, $1,500 a month. $10,000 investment in real estate makes $750 a month. $10,000 investment in Bitcoin makes $1,500 a month. So you can have a lot of lack of faith in Bitcoin. You can say that it's not real money, which I would be happy to go through the details of Bitcoin and explain why it is real money, why it is here to stay, why it's legitimate, why people are using it right now, how people are using it. I can go through all that. Probably take me 20 minutes to do a very basic video about the merits of Bitcoin. But all that aside, you are making money on a miner that you own and can resell that is appreciating just like a house. The Bitcoin that you make, I said money, but the Bitcoin you make is an asset just like a house. You can take out a loan against it just like a house. You can hold it for 2 years and then cash it out without capital gains tax if you hold it personally, just like a house. So think of Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners like real estate, because as far as the IRS is concerned, they're the same right now. And you know, my point with that is that your Bitcoin miner itself can be resold. I mentioned Compass Mining earlier. They're a company that you can actually call them up and say you don't want your Bitcoin miner anymore. They will put it on a used market and get it sold for you. And it's fast. I mean, whereas if you got to sell your house, dude, I mean, I know it's a hot market, but you're still going to be 2 months till money in your pocket at minimum. So the liquidity of this and the velocity of this Bitcoin thing is fan-freaking-tastic. And the money I'm telling you, the $50 a day that it's making, it's actually a range. You can buy a Bitcoin miner from about $8,000 to $14,000, and it will make anywhere from $45 to $85 a day, depending on a number of factors, but mainly the miner that you purchased. I'm figuring a $10,000 miner at $50 a day, just for the sake of keeping the numbers round, and I think that's very conservative. And it's not accounting for any of the appreciation of Bitcoin itself. And the whole point of this little passage is to tell you that the Bitcoin price is going up. It is definitely going up. It's not crashing. It's not going to zero. You have institutional investors. You have all, you know, well, like I say, I can get into the reasons why it's going to be around, but something you can see is you can look at the chart for Bitcoin. I know a lot of you folks have some background in trading and stuff, but even if you don't, you can kind of see the pattern. Because if you zoom out on like a, I don't know, a 3-day chart where each line on the chart is 3 days, then you will clearly see this pattern with Bitcoin where it goes a little bump, and it goes big bump, a little bit higher, big bump, a little bit higher, right? And so we're on our way down on this third big bump, well, the second big bump and the third bump, and we're almost at the bottom of the cradle where it's gonna bounce back up again. And it's gonna be another, we've had all-time highs many times this year, and this time it'll be another all-time high. Some people are saying crazy numbers, 200,000, 100,000, I don't know, but I can tell you it'll be over $70,000, and today it's under 60,000. So it's a good investment, and when you're mining it, you have the opportunity to take your profits on a daily basis if you want, in cash. They'll pay you however you want. If you're mining at your house, they'll send you the miner. You can just take it at your house. I don't recommend doing that because you'll pay more for electricity. Maybe you can get some benefit out of the heating. But yeah, if you're keeping it yourself, you get paid in Bitcoin and you just change it out on an exchange. So anyway, I'm kind of just getting into it, so it's kind of like information vomit at you. I don't have a lot to say about it because I haven't done it yet. I've just had research on people who have done it. I will say that if you're interested in it, I want to know about it. If this is something that you'd consider investing in, I want to know about it. At least on a temporary basis with a buyout proposal, I would consider doing partnerships with people on Bitcoin miners. Like, you only got $1,000, you want a tenth of a Bitcoin miner? Let's get some friends together and buy it. I know we'll have to work out the tax thing. We'll have to work out some of the details, but I think this is good for everybody, and I'd like to see more people get into it. I'm not saying to go sell your real estate portfolio and buy all miners. Not at all. I mean, there are different risk categories, and I'm sure you're like me in that you have to measure and weigh and deal with the risk for the whole family. If it was just me and I was solo in an apartment, I'd probably sell half my real estate assets. But I represent the sensibilities of Kendra, and she's, you know, she's security minded. It kind of makes it hard sometimes to be profit and investment minded with that kind of mentality around, but it's for the better. You know, it keeps us from being in a position where we can lose everything and be gone. So she's not really involved in this, other than she trusts me to represent her sensibilities in terms of risk. And other than that, she has kind of left it to me to understand the technology and make sure it's a worthwhile direction for our money. So I know, weigh all the risks, not investment advice. I hate that crap. Everybody has to say, oh, I'm not an investment advisor. Well, whatever. If it helps, I'm not. Still, I've had good luck with this year. Other people have had good luck with it over a course of many years. And I think it's a really good way to diversify income and even your holdings. I'd much rather have a miner right now than $10,000 in US dollars. They're, well, you know, they're becoming worth nothing. All right, guys, that's all I got. Talk to you later.